for joining us. My name is Sherelle Evans Latimer, CEO of A.C.E Publishing LLC, and this is BWP Books with Purpose Virtual Book Fair with Laquanza Robinson.
Hey, everybody. Hey.
Laquanza, tell us about yourself a little bit.
Well, my name is Laquanza Robinson. I'm an author. I write poetry. I sing. I just want to inspire people that today might be bad, but tomorrow is always going to be better, and to keep on believing and keep on trusting. If we just have faith in that thing, that whatever it is, that God can shift it and He can change it, we can come through anything. Because I'm a living testimony that we can.
Amen. Yay. Yes. I love your testimony, honey. Now, this right here, intentionally single. I could not wait to get to this book right here, honey. Okay, so, intentionally single. You are more than a one-night stand. This is something that I know as a Christian, a lot of women struggle with. I struggled with it before I got married as well. But it was something that I knew I had to do. I ain't gonna say I was perfect at it, but I did do it, and I did find my husband, and I do love him. Shout out to Scranton, Carolina. So tell us about Intentionally Single and what it's about.
Well, Intentionally Single is, again, written out of a place of misunderstanding of pain. I was like, I've been abstinent for 7 years. It'll be 7 years in the second week of May. It'll be 7 years. So I had been abstinent. This was like a couple of years ago when I had first started. I was like, my friend girl got engaged. My other friend girl got engaged. And then it started. I was like, well, God, dang God, I did what you told me to do. Mm-hmm. I submitted what you told me to submit. So I wonder why don't nobody see me as a valuable spouse or somebody valuable to them. You always tell me I'm worthy, but am I really truly worthy? Mm-hmm. Am I that filthy? You ask yourself all of these questions, trying to convince yourself a lie that the enemy only gives you, because God is the truth. And I was just sitting there and I was asking that question like, God, what is it? And He gave me an epiphany, an aha moment that my singleness just wasn't for me, but it was for a generation of young ladies behind me to say, you know what? You don't have to go from bed to bed to bed. You don't have to sleep with every man that passed by, and just it might possibly be them, but then you're just another sex partner in. And it never was the man God had designed for you. It wasn't never the man that God had for you. And surely we can attest to, so many people, how should I say that? Even get married and it still don't be the person I wanted to choose myself first. So Intentionally Single was my process of actually being single, y'all. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it ain't always been easy. It's been hard, but if God said that He's a keeper, then He's a keeper. If Jesus tells us He'll keep us through the storm, He'll keep us through everything. He'll keep us, because He's been keeping me. And sometimes at first I didn't want to be kept, but He kept me despite of me. So they Intentionally Single, and you can journal through it. I have parts and spaces after every chapter where I do a reflection, and then you can journal through it. You can write through it. In the middle of Intentionally Single, I stopped asking these 9 questions, same questions I had to ask myself. Like, if in the middle of what I was doing, in the middle of 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because that's where I came in. And let me go back a little bit far. I came out of my 7 years of faithfulness was produced out of a fall. So I was faithful to God to a certain amount, and then, but I never gave him the real true issue. So when I say I was faithful, I had, one of my friend girls, she was abstinent, and she was telling me about how to, live like this. You want to live pure, you want to do this. So I was like, well, let me just try this, because if this is what God wants me to do, then I'm going to do. That's what I want to do. That's what I was going to do. Right. But I didn't do it giving everything to God. So I still had some of those things that I wanted to do. So I felt like I wasn't completely delivered. Or I didn't actually just give him the things in the midst of the way. So I had met this man, didn't know him, he didn't know me. And a few weeks, when your flesh will rise up and when you, hey, I only can tell it how
I understand.
Flesh will rise up and it keep calling you, and eventually when you let that thing sit in your mind, whatever sit in your mind, and it overrides your spirit, man, it's gonna lead you right into that same sin, right into that temptation. And that's why I had ended up there. Everything I felt like God had did for me, and he had taught me, it was like I gave it away freely for my own needs, for my own selfishness, not even really wanting to wait in that time. But like I said, coming out of the fall, it produced a faithful woman. It produced that for Jesus I live, for Jesus I die. And it's nothing else but whatever he tell me to do, I'm going to do it. Now, was it easy? No, because some of the stuff I didn't want to do. And sometimes I didn't want to listen. Yeah. But I listened and I was obedient despite of. And eventually, it's been 7 years and I'm not married yet. But eventually, the thing that I desire, I hope to come to pass. And can I tell you one thing too? I found out, but I learned about myself, that even though I wrote intentionally single, and I talked about the things that God wanted me to talk about, some of the things that I didn't even get to touch, but he's been enlightening me in these last couple of months. Daughter, it's a whole section that you didn't even touch. It's a whole section that you didn't even say, but I want you to say it, because I never talked about, being touched on and being exposed to a spirit of perversion at a young age, but I talked about masturbation. But he told me, daughter, you can't hit on masturbation if you don't talk about the root of it. And the root of it was the fact that I was a kid by an older boy that touched me. He fondled me, but it opened up something in the inside of me that had me craving for things that I was too young to understand. Yeah. So, he been teaching me even along the way. When you talk about these things, Lord, I want you to be open about this, because there's a lot of people out here that's bound, and they're bound, and I want to see people get set free, because that's the thing that Jesus desired too. So I'm sorry, am I talking too much?
No, you're okay.
I went on
testimony.
Okay.
I'm waiting on your part too, bro. Yeah. You gonna have that on your part too.
Amen. I received it.
It's okay. So, it's funny that you talked about masturbation, because we recently had it's called Pretty Raw and Relevant at church, where we got to ask questions about certain things that, you're too afraid to speak on in public, and there's no judgment zone. And that was one of the questions that came up, and it's something that definitely needs to be talked about. And I'm glad that we have a platform and leaders that allow us to speak freely and express ourselves. And God wants us to talk about those type of things to help other people. It's not something that you want to hide or be ashamed of. We all do. We all had to go through it and fight it. So thank you so much for that one.
To God be the glory.
Man. Okay. Laquanza, Soaring Like an Eagle. This is your book of poetry, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. explain this.
Soaring Like it. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Ask me a question. I'm sorry. I was.
No, you're okay. Go ahead and explain how you started writing poems.
I started writing poems, and I never thought to be an author. An author was not even a thing that was on my mind. I just wanted to be free. I was bound in a lot of areas, a lot of areas, a lot of pain, a lot of things that sometimes I just thought I was so strong that I could carry everything. But God never designed me to carry it on my own. He never designed me to be that way. So the beginning of actually telling my truth, because sometimes you don't even tell your truth. You don't even say it hurt. I didn't even say it bothered me. I just knew how to tuck it in and move on. Get over it. We got to sometimes get over society. Just get over it. Or don't speak your truth, because your truth might offend somebody else. But if it's my truth and it's freeing me, how can you tell me not to speak what's binding me, and then it becomes bondage again? So being held to somebody else's. So Soaring Like an Eagle was written out of place of pain, depression, suicide, a whole bunch of things. So and it was just me, because it's really hard sometimes to be able to explain myself, but to be able to tell my truth, because I was always taught, to cry is to be weak. To cry is to be weak. To say you're in pain is to be weak. So Soaring Like an Eagle was just written out of a place of pain, depression, and certain things. Like I said, I told y'all a little bit about it, how I lost children at a young age. And, I was a teenage parent, but at the same time, I still had hurt and I still had pain and I still had misunderstanding and being a kid too, and being a kid and always to be told that you're bad and you're not going to amount to this and you're not going to amount to that and you can't do this and you can't do that. It really affects you. And it affects your self-esteem. So I can say from a little child to adult that was one of the things that I battled with. And so Soaring Like an Eagle, Soaring Like an Eagle, so much I could say. There's so much I could say, but I'm trying to keep it at a little frame. So it's just different stories, different testimonies. And not too long after Soaring Like an Eagle, God had enlightened me to, since you write poetry, but you sing too. So I had started taking a couple of poems out of Soaring Like an Eagle and put it into music form and on the CDs. I don't even know if y'all can see it. I didn't even get to give it to you, but I didn't want you to go through all of that trouble. But I got these CDs too. And I took 4 poems out of there, put it with music. God enlightened me to be able to write the songs to the poem, the tune, however he wanted it to go. And also, too, I got a bonus track on here where I don't know if y'all remember, I think it was 2 years ago when Kate Spade had committed suicide. And she had committed suicide. And God just had told me, daughter, you got a testimony to tell. And I just wrote it in the song form. And that's the bonus track on the CD. So.
Awesome. Amazing. Trying to get this echo out.
That's fine.
Okay. So you can get both books at Amazon and sweetsandbooks.com. I also posted the links in the live feed.
Yes, ma'am.
So.
But it'll be better to do it through Amazon right now, because it'll just be easier, unless you want it. Well, yeah, because you can get it on Kindle. You can do the Kindle.
Okay. Awesome. And you can follow Mrs. Robinson on Facebook and go to the website, Got Sweets and Books. Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
You're so welcome. Thank you.